é Peep. É just Peep. Mais Drama Alert Nation. É que eu gosto.
Logan Paul was caught with his pants down, exposed for one of the largest scams ever run by an influencer. This was all brought to light by the finest detective YouTube has ever had, a channel known as CoffeeZilla. I've talked about CoffeeZilla more than Amy Schumer's talked about her vagina. I can't get enough of
Vagina.
his content, and I can't recommend his channel highly enough. It is beautiful stuff. He's like a real world L from Death Note, but instead of solving murder mysteries, he's solving scams. He's become a boogeyman to any fraudster online, where if he knocks on your door, they run to the basement and hide, like Batman striking fear into the hearts of criminals. And recently, he set his sights on Logan Paul. This is actually an investigation that's been going on for an extremely long time. CoffeeZilla has spent at least a year going through every single
That's
detail of this
crazy.
case and getting all sides, talking to people that helped develop it, as well as people affected by it, and even core members of the team that were in the know on what was going on from the beginning of this project, from the goddamn birth of it, from the very beginning. CoffeeZilla has talked to one of the people that helped bring this project to life, like at the genesis of CryptoZoo. Now, to break it down into a nutshell, CryptoZoo was supposed to be a play to earn crypto game where you buy a shitcoin called Zoo, which you use to purchase an NFT egg, which hatches into stock photos of animals. And then you can like breed those stock photos of animals into more stock photos. That's the entire gameplay loop. You look at fucking PNG stock photos of animals that combine like a whale with a frog. That's it. And where you can earn money is by burning those PNGs that you get. And then you can get Zoo in return, claim your yield. It sounds like the worst game ever fucking made. It's a worse game than Super Fight, which was a $200 Steam game that was a single level and only 30 seconds of gameplay. I'd have more fun watching my own car catch on fire with all of my shit inside of it than playing CryptoZoo. But it was never designed to be a game that's fun to play. From the very beginning, it was clearly designed to be a money-making scam to exploit Logan Paul's massive audience. And the game also never
Alguém
even
responda.
worked, and to this day, over a year later, still doesn't work. You were never able to actually play, and you were never able to actually earn. Unless, of course, you were one of the founders from the beginning. Because then, there were a couple of founders that made a lot of money, including a
Este
cameo
cateter
from
é mesmo
someone you
fixe.
might be familiar with from previous scams, Jake the Crypto King, known for his Pokemon scam back in the day. He's back. I said on stream that this whole thing feels like the series finale to Logan Paul's career, where all of the side characters come in together for one big final oorah, like an episode where they bring in everyone to celebrate the end of the show. It is crazy just how deep this CryptoZoo rabbit hole goes. I don't want to spoil anything, but yes, Agent 47 is back, and he is
preciso de
once
motor.
again a very shady and big piece of shit in this whole thing. There are no good guys on the CryptoZoo team. I don't want to get too deep into it because CoffeeZilla tells the whole story, but let me just give you the cliff notes here to get you hooked. This not only has scams galore, it even has fake orphans. It has a man who claims to have won the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018, despite never having even been associated with football in any capacity. The same guy also claiming to have been like a CIA operative, as well as hacking AOL. There's market manipulation. There's betrayal with the founding fathers of CryptoZoo stabbing each other in the back repeatedly. It just plays out like a soap opera, but was real. Like, even the scammers were scamming each other. So not only were normal people getting fucked in the mouth and losing money on this completely fraudulent product, but even the scammers were scamming each other. Like, it was just pure pandemonium and chaos. There was even a point where the code got stolen and taken to Switzerland, held hostage for $1 million ransom. Like, the web here is so wild and wacky. It is an unreal journey. And I don't want to spoil it all here. I highly recommend you watch the entire 3-part series from CoffeeZilla. I'm only going to be showing you the first part here that I watched and went over to get the bare bones breakdown of the situation, as well as setting
Wait,
the
uma coisa
stage,
que eu não
the
percebo.
foundation for the whole investigation going forward. It is just such an incredible ride. CoffeeZilla has truly outdone himself with this investigation, and I'm extremely excited to see how Logan Paul defends it because the evidence that
Isto é tão complicado
CoffeeZilla
de estúpido e não
showcases
funciona.
seems pretty bulletproof. It seems like there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for excuses or any kind of justification for anything in regards to CryptoZoo. But, of course, on January 3rd, Logan Paul has hyped up that his response is coming on his podcast, which to me just feels like an advertisement more than anything. But I will, of course, withhold full judgment until I hear his side, since he hasn't been very open to sharing his side for the last year. This has been like my most anticipated show of the entire year. CoffeeZilla's 3-part deep dive into Logan Paul's crypto scam, CryptoZoo. So I'm extremely excited, and I'm super happy to see CoffeeZilla go so hard on this. He's gained like almost 400,000 subs since posting these videos, something like that, and he deserves it. I know he spent quite a few months investigating this. I know he's also reached out to Logan Paul numerous times to try and get his side of the story, but has been dodged and ducked every single time until he finally posted this video. I saw Logan Paul's tweet saying, actually I'll just pull it up instead of paraphrasing. He did the standard, I used to love CoffeeZilla, and I always think he gets everything right. Until now. Now he fucked up. Like, this is very cookie cutter. Somehow, every single time CoffeeZilla talks about some kind of big scam like this is always the response. While I generally appreciate Steven's creative genius and exceptional work ethic, I mean that, this one is simply not true. When appropriate, all bad actors will be exposed, explained, and held fully accountable. I'll speak further on Impulsive January 3rd. Which, to me, reads more like an advertisement for his podcast than anything. But I always just love this first line because this is boilerplate at this point. This is what everyone says when CoffeeZilla makes a video about them. A creative genius, one of the best in the business. Ace detective, like Benoit Blanc. But this time he fucked up, trust me. This time he's wrong.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
This is absolutely shocking to me. These aren't children. You're telling me these adults watch Logan Paul? Or did they had to have just heard about this from, like, crypto subreddits, discords, all trying to, like, hype train the shit out of this? I refuse to believe that this is Logan Paul's audience. No fucking shot.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Shut up!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 500k.
Oh no. Today we're investigating
500
Logan
coins.
Paul, a
Oh my
blockchain
God.
game that made millions, but never.
Oh, afinal tenho
And of course,
muitos
at the
motores.
center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this
WWE
thing, leaving
superstar,
thousands of
baby.
fake orphans in his wake. Wait a second. Thousands of victims in his wake.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. We have a massive team behind it. And
Real quick, you might be asking yourself, well, what experience does Logan Paul have with NFTs? And that's a great question to be asking, and I have the answer. He was actually a pioneer in NFTs, and in fact still has some of the best NFTs of all time, such as... Are these still up on OpenSea? Well, here's his NFT Pokemon cards. Beautiful stuff.
I'm confused.
Obviously, very high quality stuff, and I mean, only $10,000 for that, so I mean, reasonably priced as well. Where are his... He used to sell clips, so you could pay thousands of dollars to get an NFT clip of him boxing,
I'm confused.
which was a fucking bargain. Honestly, just giving it away at that price. You get like 15-second Twitter clips of his boxing matches. Where are they?
September 1st, CryptoZoo.co.
We don't scam.
That's
I've
fine.
never scammed anyone before. Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to scam to make money.
True, but you make a lot of money doing it, I imagine, so...
Welcome to part
cookie
one,
jar
the
was
$1
too
million
appealing.
mystery that began this whole story.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. I think there needs to be a fresh take, and this project that I have is that fresh take.
Now look, at first,
Yep,
I was
let's
just as
go.
surprised at this
What is
video as
everybody?
anyone else, because I
Que
just
está
got
passando
finished
hoje?
roasting Logan for a different coin called Dink Doink, which is
Dink
fans lose
Doink.
money on.
I'm a Dink Doink fan.
And it
Dink
wasn't even
Doink
a
what
project at
now?
all. It was a game that could earn you money.
I'm excited to launch.
Called Pay to
You
Earn.
keep using a, and you
Or,
just did it
Jesus,
again. You keep
play to
using a
earn.
word there. Game. You're not using like a.
Oh yeah.
It's a game.
It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
You started by buying this crypto token called Zoo, which is their in-game currency, and you use Zoo coins to then buy egg NFTs, which you can then hatch to become animals. You then can breed those two animals to become hybrid animals. For example,
What have I
if you
s-
breed
What a
gorilla,
fun-sounding
you
game.
get a Gore Kitty. And the more rare the
I've heard of that
the
one.
I get to
higher the
breed
daily
animals?
yield
Sign
of
me
Zoo
up.
tokens that animal earns you every day. Theoretically, it works like almost like passive income. You can then
No
earn
image.
your animal NFTs to release the zoo they earned back to you, and from there you can invest it into eggs or just cash out. Now, some of you of the Egyptian persuasion might notice some triangular qualities.
No, that's a
to this game
coincidence.
description.
We handmade art for the past 6 months, bro. Approval, very specific notes, 10 different artists making art for our project.
That doesn't
I'll
sound like a
admit,
lot of artists.
This all sounds
for that.
very enticing. Handmade art, a
Not-
fun game that can earn you
doesn't
money.
sound
and
enticing.
one of the biggest influencers in the world backing it.
It was Logan Paul at the end.
Whoa, but what
And
was
he
the car
a
batteries?
personality that I actually trusted. That I actually
Why?
kind of
What did?
believed
What,
in.
Obviously,
well,
when
I feel terrible that that happened to you, but what? What in the history of Logan Paul has earned anyone's trust ever? Like, I can't think of anything he's ever done that was honest. Like, I legitimately can't. Except for him saying that he made a repeated lapse in his judgment when he filmed a dead body. Like, that's like the only thing I can think of with like honesty associated with Logan Paul. But yeah, I mean, Prime did come out. I've tried it. I mean, it's a real drink. I wasn't instantly poisoned or anything. It was fine. I actually thought it was good. But I'm just gonna chalk that up to KSI. I'm just gonna say KSI did everything because I legitimately have no trust in Logan.
But as the game got closer to release, the CryptoZoo team started releasing the first ever photos of these animals. Come to find out, this handmade art story wasn't really true. It was actually Adobe stock photos mashed together. This was the sort of first
What?
red flag of this project.
Hey!
And I made a video about it at the time, but it was
Let's
kind of
go.
surface level, and something
what the
didn't
fuck?
add up beneath the surface. Something where I
Ah.
just couldn't. And it's not handmade at all. It's not even original. It's what's called a fork, a copy of, you know, some other code that exists out there. One of them is called Floki Shib X, which launched before it. So where'd this $1 million go? I didn't understand.
There never was.
Wait. Play that again. Did you hear that?
There was no way to claim your yield. There never was.
Hold on.
I can't
the core
believe it.
mechanic of crypto
What?
that you can make money with these stupid
No.
animals didn't even work on launch day, and still, to this day, a year later, still does not work.
So I acquired a bunch of eggs, and I actually want to play the game. I didn't acquire the eggs with the intent of keeping them. I actually wanted to hatch them and see what I got out of them and play in this ecosystem. That's
I am sorry this happened to you, my friend. What compelled you to want to play this game? There is no game. The game is you buy an egg, and then we give you a stock photo of what this animal might look like with a goofy nose. What is the game? Like, the only reason anyone would have ever put money into this is off the hope that they're somehow able to make a payday out of it. Like, cash in their yield for some kind of profit. There is no, like, actual game mechanics. It is, here's a couple pictures you can look at. That's it. That's fucking it. Just the worst Pokemon. It's not even a Pokemon at all. Like, even, let's take a card game. Even a card game has game mechanics. You play against someone, there is a goal, there is something you do, there is an actual gameplay element to it. Here, the gameplay is you hatch an egg, and we combine this photo of a moose with a photo of my cat. And that's it.
Sounds great.
And now you have played our game, and now you can either choose to keep that picture and hope it appreciates in value, you know, yield some more zoo, or you burn it to acquire your zoo. Those are your two options, neither of which constitute a game. Jesus Christ.
It's never been up.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture. There's nothing I could do with it.
You're kidding!
That's
You
the whole
can't
game.
hatch?
It's just a picture. Even when you can't hatch, it's just another
You could
picture.
you could ask any of those community guys. It's basically worth nothing whatsoever.
Wow. So on launch day, basically nothing worked. And a year later, that's still true. Now, after this was discovered, the price of Zoo fell 63% in just 24 hours. CryptoZoo already got millions in investments, but Logan only speaks in the Discord twice over the next year to say, quote, sober, currently shaking my head, and yo. That was his contribution to this project. Meanwhile, his community manager, Ben Roth.
Because surely Logan Paul, who's got this billion-dollar hydration company and a WWE star, he's got enough money. He doesn't need to rug us lot.
And it's because of these false promises about marketing that these poor investors believed in CryptoZoo so long. They sat and watched every
It actually
Logan
is
Paul
very
episode.
impressive how far you can get when people just believe that you're too wealthy to exploit them. Like, if someone just believes you have so much money, that for some reason makes you trustworthy. That's wild to me. Because I'd always think it's the fucking opposite.
Too much of this is out, but he's been working on a massive project.
And one of them will be the biggest thing I ever do. It's like my life and soul is put into this project, which is where most of my time these days goes.
I'll tell you about this project when we get closer to launch. This project line is going to be...
Is that the thing with the egg? Like the zoo?
No.
Okay, that's
This is going to be... Yeah. This is crazy.
No, that shit sucks. That shit is garbage. I can't believe you guys bought that.
If you're one of
Holy
these
fuck, it was
investors,
awful.
And Logan
You
Paul's
brought up
the
the
one
egg?
pitching this
That was a
new
joke.
secret project, and you're thinking it's CryptoZoo, and someone's like, "Oh, is it that thing with the eggs?" And he's like, "No, definitely not. That was the last project. This is the real project that I'm working on."
Much going on behind the scenes. Like, Doug, I'm not the bad guy here.
Yeah.
There's some actual out there.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like, I'm here to build.
Oh, okay.
This is a space
now
where
that's
a lot of people
okay. Well, now I
do
believe
see
you.
dollar signs. Like any burgeoning industry, if there's money to be made, there's going to be both good and bad people.
Okay, well, at least we set the record
crypto
straight.
Space. I'm learning all of it. We had an issue. Took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, actually fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million. Like behind the scenes drama that.
What do you mean,
like,
fled to Switzerland?
Took a stick and stuck it in the spokes of my wheels.
Oh, well, that wasn't expected. There's a shady developer who held up Logan's code hostage in Switzerland. That's why this hasn't worked the whole time. He held it hostage for $1 million. Well, and find out the truth of what happened. Why did he steal Logan's code for $1 million? However,
that's what I really appreciate about CoffeeZilla. He's such a stronger man than I. That is like the most egregiously bullshit story ever. Like, genuinely, I don't believe a single fucking phrase uttered in that same breath. I don't think there's any world where that's actually true, but CoffeeZilla is still going to investigate it anyway.
I finally got a hold of him, and when I did, he
It's
admitted
true?
he held
No
the code
way.
hostage, but he says the reason for it was nothing like what Logan
No.
had said.
What?
Really never paid me anything at all, ever. I never was paid. And, we got to a point when I was working on it where I just realized they were just going to try to steal all of my work and not pay me. So I took all the source code private, 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week on building this thing.
What? Building what? You take a picture and you have your stock photos that you mash together to make a new picture when it hatches. Where is $50,000 a week going? Where? How? Holy shit, this is outrageous. But I am beyond shocked that this is at least a half-truth. So the guy did flee to Switzerland after holding the code hostage, but it was because Logan didn't pay him, or the team.
No to to za
So he was
skurwysz.
telling a half-truth on the situation. I can't believe any part of it was true. That is already quite the twist for me.
According to him, they negotiated a $1 million payday for this whole project. And from the second I heard that, I thought, oh, that's interesting, because Logan claims he spent $1 million on this whole thing. And this developer saying he's owed $1 million on this.
We've been paid nothing. I would have loved to have Zoo, but I don't have any.
So that's multiple sources working on the CryptoZoo team project who were not paid. Now, obviously, these are big accusations, which is why I wanted to confront Logan Paul on them. But unfortunately, we're not exactly on speaking terms. So I wonder, how could I speak to Logan without speaking to Logan? Logan Paul's manager, a guy named Jeff Levin.
Oh, Jeff.
He might be
Fuck.
just what we need
Jeff.
to settle this whole thing. So I gave him a call.
Hello?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, sorry to bother you. This is Steven with CoffeeZilla. I'm calling because I've heard reports that CryptoZoo hasn't paid their development team.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just reaching out for comment before I do this story. I just want to follow up on that.
I have no comment for it.
Okay,
Oh, well, fair enough.
Are you guys
Okay.
denying it, or are you saying it's not true?
Just no comment. I don't think that the information is true.
You guys have a whole side
I
to
know,
your
but
story here.
your job as someone that is reporting news is to actually verify correct news.
Well, that's
Right,
what
that's
he's
why
trying.
I'm calling you.
I know, and that's legal grounds for that stuff. So I'm just telling you, legally, you have to report correct news with a verifiable.
Legally.
Right, that's why I'm calling you.
As we've been advised always, is if anybody reports fake news, that's where we won't.
Then set the record
This
straight.
all was-
What? Is everyone around Logan just a fucking idiot? Like an actual bumbling buffoon? Huh?
Bumbling buffoon.
That is why he called you. You could have absolutely just, if it's not true,
What does he say?
shut it down. Or tell him, yeah, it's not true. I wasn't aware of this. We can go ahead and get some material together to prove that it's all fake. Bang. Right then and there. You don't have to immediately tell CoffeeZilla all the evidence or anything. Just say like, hey, it's not true. If you can give us some time, we can get together all the material and send it your way to prove that they're being dishonest about the information. Simple. Jesus Christ, Logan, hire me as your manager. Jesus. Could have saved you a massive fucking headache if this is all fake. How can you be so dumb?
A mess. Jeff, Logan's manager, seems to be implying that I'm not allowed to repeat allegations his own development team made, even though Logan can go on podcasts and publicly accuse those developers of stealing his code. Not only that, he's the one who refuses to provide any evidence, but seems to sort of be implying that maybe we'll sue you if you tell this to anyone, which he then denies doing when I ask him if that's what he's doing.
Told you I have no comment to it. Telling you once again, from a legal standpoint, you have to report truth. If you do not
Is this an
verify
NPC?
truth,
Why does he keep saying this?
Then you're just allegations, and those then will be handled the way that we want to handle it.
Okay. I understand you may have graduated Arizona State with the business degree, but holy shit, that is not being put to good use here, Jeff. You must have fallen ass backwards into this position. He is calling you so that way you can defend against the allegations. You don't have to do it right now on the phone call. Just say they're not true, and we will defend them. And here's our evidence. We can eventually get you our evidence. It is that simple. Like, it is that fucking simple. How dumb is this guy? Like, oh my god. He is calling you because he is trying to verify it as a trustworthy source. He wants the whole story. And how the fuck else is he supposed to verify it without talking to you? The team, the people behind it, the ones who now have the
The beautiful
allegations, who are the
people.
only ones that can verify the authenticity of the claims. He can't go to the Better Business Bureau, who's somehow going to be having all the fucking answers to this. This guy is so dumb. He is so unbelievably dumb. And then making that like a sly little threat about it. He's Logan Paul's actual punching bag. He has to just keep Jeff around just to take all of the flack. That's got to be the only reason. He's like a little public spittoon for Logan Paul. Oh, what? No, I would
Spittoon?
have absolutely denied these things. Oh, that's just Jeff. Jeff, man, he's so fucking dumb. Yeah, no, oh my god, I can't believe Jeff. What a silly guy.
I have no comment on the situation.
Mm-hmm. Good defense.
Your job legally is to report facts. If you don't report facts on the information you're given, it is illegal.
It's not. You can report allegations. That's the whole fucking point of an allegation. He's not saying it's the truth. He is saying they're allegations, and he wants to verify, are these allegations accurate, or are they inaccurate? You can absolutely talk about allegations.
Who is he? Who is Eddie Ibanez?
It's a made-up name. That's a made-up
Yes,
name,
hi,
isn't
my
it?
name's Eddie Ibanez, lead developer here at CryptoZoo.
Oh,
This
never mind.
reporter said
Damn,
Eddie's
thought it was gonna be a
entire
crazy
story
plot twist.
is fake. Wait, what?
Não sei como é que chega ali agora. É melhor fazer load. Ah, man, já acabou? Oh, cool, estou no mesmo sítio. Não vou fazer save. Procura de um vídeo.
Senior year. What happens? You do senior year again, right? You don't have to go back and do freshman year again. So, bottom line, have
Yeah.
continues. God damn it!
Another big piss off about this game is that enemies can kill you even after they're dead. Like you have to wait for them to completely die before you can pass. Anyway, I can't get past the vines, so I'm
Acid
gonna
tree.
cheat with Game Genie, the last resort. But check out these codes. Almost unlimited energy, invincibility after losing the first life may cause the game to freeze, start with no continues, cannot collect extra energy, and one hit is fatal.
No
What kind of
continues.
codes are these? Is there like some sick fuck who thinks the game isn't hard enough? Like somebody who wants to be tortured some more? Well, how about this? I got a code for you. How about a code that just starts you off dead? Yeah, well, I don't want to freeze, so I guess I'm gonna go with almost invincibility, whatever that means.
At first, the code works fine, but then I found out that if you collect energy, it takes life away. Not that you would need to collect energy, but it's kind of silly, isn't it? And guess what? Once you get to the vines, you still die. Well, that would have been nice. Why couldn't the code say invincibility except for the vines? Even if you pass the vines, the invincibility goes away, so you're left with your own wits to fight Frankenstein. So, fuck the Game Genie, and let me tell you, when Game Genie doesn't help, you know you're fucked. So you fight Frankenstein. His first form's pretty easy, but then he grows into a giant super Frankenstein. Come on!
Yes!
Come on! Come on, you fucking Stein!
Fucking Stein.
It's gonna take you back to the past. To play some cheating games that suck ass. You'd rather have a buffalo. Take a diary and jump in his head. You'd rather eat a rotten asshole. Of an old skunk and down in his beer. Is the angry scared of you better?
What am I listening to? Ficou toda torta, não ficou? Isto é impossível ficar direito, não é?
Oh boy. Let's talk about the Philips CDI. Now, if you're not familiar with the backstory, I'll give you a quick little rundown. Nintendo is working in conjunction with Philips to produce a CD-based add-on for the Super NES, which never came through. Now, Nintendo is also working with Sony on the same concept, and we all know what came of that, the PlayStation. But as
The what
for
now?
Philips, they too made their own game console.
It doesn't
However, they
exist.
had permission to utilize some of the Nintendo franchises. Now, what came of that was a shitty Mario game and 3 shitty Zelda games. Link, The Faces of Evil, Zelda's Adventure, and Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon. Okay. These games are notorious for their legendary ass suckage, which is hard to believe.
Yes.
How could there exist a bad Zelda game, let alone 3 of them, and on a console that's not Nintendo? Well, if you haven't heard of them, you might think you're living under a rock, but let me tell you, it's a rock worth living under.
Before we begin, let's talk about the console itself. To begin with, it barely fucking works. That's a good start, right? I had to buy 3 CDIs before I got one that's functional. The first one wouldn't read the discs. The second one right here had the same problems. I haven't returned it yet just because I wanted to show you what it looks like. So then finally I got this big beast. Look how huge it is. It looks like one of those old VCRs. It is the biggest video game console I've ever seen. Literally, you can fit 2 of these inside it. If you remember my Atari 5200 video where I commented how big it was, well, both consoles are ridiculously huge, but the CDI just barely wins.
It's
But
always
does it
crooked.
work? Yes, it does. But at first, I thought the controller input was broken. I have
It's always
4
kinda
different
crooked.
controllers, and none of them worked, except for the wireless one, which sucks so bad it isn't even worth it. Then I found out that
Yes,
there's
a tree.
another input on the back. So the one in the front is either broken or intended for the second player. This means that every time I want to swap a controller, I have to pull out the whole console. Dog shit.
He has a tree.
Inhumanity, man. Fucking piece of shit. That is a pain in the ass. Why couldn't both be on the front? Seriously, I couldn't even imagine what they were thinking. Let's talk about the controllers. One is your average regular ass controller. The next one looks like a spoon. I really don't understand it. And this one has this awkward joystick. It's so stiff. It's basically just a stick on top of a regular D-pad. Then you have the wireless one. This is the standard controller that comes with the system. But as I've said, it's terrible. Your finger keeps slipping off the joystick and the buttons are too close. Imagine if you were trying to play Nintendo 64 and all the buttons were clustered around the joystick. For your average point and click game, it's okay, but for an action game like Zelda, it is nearly impossible to use this controller. It's all worth it just to play such classics as Sticky Bear Reading, Lamb Chops Play Along, Sailing, and The Flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe. Yeah, it had its share of educational games, some action games, but let's cut the bullshit and get to the ones you want to hear about. The Zelda games are pretty rare and kinda expensive. Zelda's Adventure was over $180 US. Not counting the money I had refunded for the bad consoles, all this in total cost about $700. I've been dying to do a CDI review for a long time, and partly due to financial and technical difficulties, that's what's been holding me back. But before we get to the Zelda games, let's start off with Hotel Mario. The price on this one, I gotta be honest, was $0 because this one was a donation.
Yay.
Thanks, Casey, you might as well have sent me a turd wrapped in tinfoil.
Yes.
As the game begins, you get a ridiculous cutscene.
Nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? I hope she made lots of
What advice,
Reminds me
eh?
of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Sounds better than
Way
Chris
more
Pratt.
cheesy. The game is not what you'd expect. I mean, with a title like Hotel Mario,
Hey,
I guess I
Luigi.
really didn't know what to expect, but not this. All you do is
I
run
gi-
around and
I
check
give up.
doors. Yeah, seriously, the goal is to shut all the doors before the time runs out, then advance to the next stage. Couldn't they have come up with something better?
I'll give
how
it
about
up.
kill all the Goombas and Koopa Troopas, but shut doors?
Hey, Luigi.
As much fun as that sounds, it's even more fun when the doors keep opening again. Just when you think you're about to shut the last door and beat the level, another door opens, and by the time you run all the way over there, another one opens. Also, it seems that there's
sounds like a
always someone in the
diarrhea
way.
piece of
Like If
shit.
I jump at the wrong time, I hit the Goomba on the top.
Hey,
Even
Luigi.
if I try to stomp an enemy, I end up bouncing up and getting my ass killed. Oh, look here, I'm totally fucked. Here I go, I'm kicking ass.
Oh. I've got no concrete.
Fuck, you gotta watch the doors. Speaking of doors,
Wait
you
a
can
minute.
actually hide in the doors, which helps out sometimes.
You go down the thing?
But these things with the arrows, let's talk about them. They're elevators, or they could be stairwells, whatever. Where the arrow points make sense. They go up, they go down. But the controls take some time to get used to. By instinct, if I see a down arrow, I press down. But that's not how it works. You have to hit up, regardless of which elevator you're on. And when you arrive at the other end, you're in that hiding
That sounds
position,
like
so you have to
ass.
hit down to step out. So often, you find yourself having to hit up on the down arrow, and when you go down to the up arrow, you press down. That's fucking confusing. And the elevators don't always go where you expect. No, it takes me to the other side where I get killed by the fucking caterpillar. The game is actually more reminiscent of arcade games from the early 80s, like Donkey Kong and Mario
That's
Brothers. For
assetry.
something like that, Hotel Mario actually isn't too bad. It is challenging, I'll give it that. But the fact is, this was not the early 80s. This was
Isso é muito
1994,
lento.
and it was a next-generation console. Originally, they planned to release a sequel to Super Mario World titled Super Mario's Wacky Worlds, but it was canceled, and what we got was this. End of story.
Por que 99? Balls.
I have been dreading this day for a long time. It's time to play the Zelda CDI games. Now, the first two, Link the Faces of Evil and Zelda Wand of Gamelon, were both released on the same day, October 10th, 1993. You can think of them as brother and sister game. I'm going to try out Wand of Gamelon first.
To begin with, I thought this might have been an interesting game because you actually play as Zelda, you know, the one who's in the title of every Zelda game. Also, it's a side-scroller, much like in Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I've always wondered why Nintendo never made any more Zelda games in this style. So going into this game, I couldn't imagine how bad it would be. Link is seen only in these infamous cartoon cutscenes.
Link, go to Gamelon and find my father.
Bitch.
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
God,
Whoa.
way more corny than the Link from the TV series.
Seriously,
These scenes
what's
are
up
only
today?
icing
What's happening
on the
today?
cake.
I feel like
First
everybody's
thing I find
gone.
kind of disappointing is the instruction manual. Counting the English section, it's only 10 pages. All you get is a very brief storyline and bland descriptions. If you look at the original Nintendo manual, look at how elaborate and colorful it is. Let's talk about the controls.
Everybody's
Regardless of which
fucking
controller you have,
gone.
it seems the CDI only uses 2 buttons. So to jump, you have to press up. Being that it's a platform game and a lot of the jumps have to be done with perfect accuracy, it wears on your thumb real fast. And sometimes when I'm trying to press left or right, I end up jumping by accident. The first button is the sword.
That
The
sounds
second
like
button
ass.
is everything else. Opening doors, bringing up the status screen, and using an item. It's a fucking mess, and it causes nothing but problems. To bring up the status screen, you have to crouch down and hit the button. To begin with, that's a pain in the ass. But if you're in front of a door and push the button, you end up going through the door, regardless of whether you're standing or crouching. So if you want to bring up the status screen, you gotta stay away from the doors. Also, the status screen is the only way you can pause the game. Sometimes I forget or don't realize I'm in front of a door, so I try to bring up the status screen and then I get up to take
Não vai
a piss
conectar,
only to
pois não.
realize that I'm in another room getting my ass handed to me.
Oh no.
The problem also works the other way around. If you're trying to go in the door, you have to be certain that you're standing right in the middle, or else you end up using your item.
This
I've
fucking
wasted
game
so many
is
bombs just
fucking
trying to go in the
nasty.
damn doors. And you want to know what I fucking hate? To collect rupees or anything, you have to stop and hit them with your sword. And you can't be standing in front of them either. You have to be in the right position. There's no other way. You don't have to do that in any other Zelda game. You see a rupee, all you need to do is touch it. But in this piece of shit, every single rupee slows you down.
What
Most
a-
of the time I ignore them, but as it turns out, you
Diarrhea,
need
piece of
rupees
shit.
more than ever in this game. Many of the items that you use take rupees away when you use them, and you constantly need to buy bombs, lantern oil, and ropes. The bombs are for killing tough enemies and blowing your way into certain places you need to go. Sometimes you just blow up
Diarrhea,
one boulder, it takes
piece of
10 bombs.
shit.
You think that's enough? The lanterns are for lighting the dark areas, and let me tell you, this game got really carried away with this. It's common in Zelda games that there's always dark areas, usually in caves or dungeons in which you need to light the way. But in this game, it seems every fucking place you go it gets dark. Even in the treetops in broad daylight it happens. And the lantern only lasts for a few seconds, and then it goes dark again. Cut me a break. So you're constantly switching back to the status screen to keep selecting the lantern oil. And when it runs out,
man.
being stuck in the dark is absolutely miserable. You can't even see the fucking door to find your way back
Looks
out.
like a Inganame.
So finding the door in the dark is a bitch. But other times the problem is trying to get your ass away from the door. Watch this situation. I go in the door, it's dark, I need the lantern, so I crouch down and try to bring up the select screen, and I exit the door. What the fuck? So I go back in. This time I make more of an effort to step away from the door. I try the status screen again, and what happens? I go out the damn door again. So this time I go back in, I walk to the left. And finally, I'm able to bring up the status screen and select the lantern. As the room illuminates, you can see how big that door was. Even if I know I'm about to step into a dark room and I select the lantern in advance, it still doesn't make a difference because if I try to use the lantern while I'm touching the door, I'll have the same problem. It would have really helped if all that shit didn't have to be the same button. I know I'm digging deeper and deeper into the same topic, but it really is a continuous problem.
Really
It
is a
can even
piece
get
of
you killed.
shit,
Say
diarrhea.
I go into a dark room,
Whatever.
I step away from the door, and I fall. How was I supposed to know there was a crevice there? All because I can't use the lantern at the door.
Whoa.
It's fucking bullshit!
Yeah.
But now that I've discussed all the problems with using the lantern in the dark rooms, let's talk about the ropes. You use them for climbing all those tough-to-reach
Diarrhea,
platforms. But why you can only
piece
use a
of
rope one
shit.
time makes no sense. Why does Zelda have to carry around 20 fucking ropes? Why can't she use the same one?
Yeah, man.
And if you
What a
die, you
bitch.
go back to the beginning of the stage. So you're constantly wasting your ropes. Let me tell you, there's nothing more frustrating than making it to the end of a stage, then realizing you have no more ropes. So it's back to the fucking store. But damn, I haven't even started talking about how hard it is to maneuver. First of all, you can't jump straight down. If you want to go down, you have to keep following the walkway until you get to an area you can drop. This little blue guy, he's too short to hit, and if I try to jump over him, I end up back at the top. So I gotta keep walking side to side just to go down. The graphics are so convoluted you can't even tell where you can go. Look at this, what the fuck, I can't go through. So I gotta go to the right, and then down, and then back to the left again. You just have to jump all around until you find which of the rocks you can land on. All right, I found one right here, so just gotta, there we go. It's hard to jump over gaps, even when it seems plain obvious. Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me. Sometimes a moving platform or crocodile will get in your way. What? That little gap? And sometimes if you jump on a platform, you fall through. How in the holy mother of shit did I miss that branch? It's also strange to get people to talk, you stab them with your sword.
I'd give anything for an Arpagos egg. My cakes will burn.
Just to hear stupid shit like that.
Diarrhea,
it's real annoying when you're trying to fight
piece
enemies
of
and there's someone
shit.
nearby. You end up hitting them and making them talk.
My.
Constantly interrupting your fight.
Oh, my.
And why is everybody so twisted and scary?
Bring some fairy dust and I'll make it a magic cloak.
Whoa, whoa.
Got him.
Attacking is awkward. It seems your sword never hits anything. Even if you just keep swatting at the air, your enemies always seem to hit you first. You can only hit what's directly in front
With
of you,
punish.
but it always seems enemies are coming from high above you or from too low. I swear that more than half the enemies in this game are too short to hit. You always have to be at the precise altitude. Look at this. I can't hit him below the branch, and I can't hit him when I'm on the branch. How do I hit this thing?
Yes!
Come on, motherfucker, come on! Oh, man. Seriously, what is it with all these bats? All I'm trying to do is get out of the cave, but the bats keep on coming. Fuck! Then there's this part where you walk into a room and there's two assholes throwing spears. I'm gonna try again. If only I could get close enough. As hard as it is to get close to your enemies, sometimes the problem is being too close. One fucking piece of shit, get off me! And there's no recovery time. They can drain all your energy in a second.
Diarrhea, piece of shit.
I can't believe that. And if you're too close to the top of the screen, you can barely jump at all. Oh my god.
Oh,
sometimes enemies don't appear until you're right next to them. Where the fuck did he come from? Look, you can clearly see that nobody's there, but as soon as I go up, bam, I'm dead.
It's awful.
But as difficult as it can be to slay the regular enemies, the boss battles are
Is it too close?
ridiculously easy if you know what weapon to use. They only take one hit. When you kill them, you get these amusing cutscenes.
You've killed me.
Good.
Good.
Diarrhea, piece of shit.
You killed me. Good. Gotta calm down.
Oh man, I'm going completely insane, but I can't quit because I'm up to Ganon.
Nah, you're good.
Dare bring light to my lair? You must die.
He looks like a joke.
You must
he makes
die.
the Ganon from the cartoon series look badass.
You must die.
And it's very surreal coming all this way to fight Ganon and then just throwing the wand of Gamelon at him. That's it. One hit, he's dead.
No! You haven't seen the last of me.
What do you think?
They still have the nerve to have spikes falling from the ceiling. Wouldn't that be a shame to kill Ganon only to have a spike drop on your head? Then you rescue the king and Link.
What happened? Nothing, Link. We were just about to have a feast.
Great.
They all yuck it up and everything's fine.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Well, in conclusion, some might say that there are redeeming factors to this game. The music's pretty cool, and the graphics are nice and colorful. Some might call it a mixed bag. But let me tell you what kind of mixed bag. It's a trash bag that's had a bad day. Like say your mom cleans out the cat litter.
Yeah,
Fresh
Mom.
and stale duty pebbles go right in the bottom of the bag. And then your sister throws out her used tampons. And where do they go?
I
In the
agree.
same bag. And then your brother comes home piss-ass drunk. Just upchucks, pukes right into the bag. Now, I'm not trying to be disgusting, but that is a realistic situation. And what it all comes down to, that's a nasty bag. But I'd rather take that shit out to the garbage than deal with this piece of fuck. Fuck this game. Get out of my face. And you know what the worst part about it is?
I love it.
I still have 2 left.
Diarrhea.
It's time to wrap up this CDI shit fest. Let's take a look at the 2 remaining Zelda
Diarrhea.
games. First, Link, The
Piece
Faces
of
of Evil.
shit.
All the same problems I addressed in
Diarrhea.
Zelda 1 and Gamelon are present here, so there's not
Piece
much
of
need to go into
shit.
such detail again. It has the same style
Diarrhea.
of gameplay and the same cheesy
Piece of
cutscenes.
shit.
Do you know what it means when you lose your last ruby? Now you work for me.
Whatever I see, I shall devour.
You're doing great, Link. You are our hero.
Man, those fairies really like Link. The only real difference with this game is that you play as Link, and this time you're going to rescue Zelda, so the roles have been reversed. If you watch the demo, Link tells you how to play the game.
Move the controller down, and I crouch. When I'm crouching, you can make me do the duck walk.
Whoa.
Cool, huh?
It's the duck
The
walk.
only difference is that you have to collect snowballs and fireballs. There's some enemies that can only be killed by either of these weapons, so it only adds more to your inventory that you have to keep up with. So even more so than the other game, you spend half the time collecting these items and collecting rupees so that you can buy bombs, rope, and lantern oil. And to top it off, there's more weapons that drain your rupees. Could this be any more tedious? And I hate collecting rupees. Oh, come on, you can't even get 2 at the same time? And the jumping is still a big problem. Come on, why can't I get up there? Oh, your mother. Oh, you son of a bitch. Get up there.
Two at a
Time to
time.
start dropping some F-bombs. Fuck! 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 Probably the worst example is right here. I'm trying to go in the door. Seems simple, right? But I can't approach the door from any conceivable angle. If I'm below the door, I can't reach it, at least not without a rope. Too bad I had to use them all in order to get this far. I can't approach it from the other side because the pillar's blocking me. This is the part I really don't understand. You can pass through the bottom of the pillar and you can pass through the 2 pillars before it, which look exactly the same. Why is it that I can't go through this one fucking part? It seems the only way I can make it is to drop down from the top, but I can't get back up there. I'm jumping everywhere. I obviously can't go back up, which is ironically the way I came, all because I missed the jump, which is hard to begin with because you're so close to the ceiling. I'm also prohibited from going to the left. Whether I'm on the top or the bottom floor, there's a fucking piece of shit in the way. So once you fall down there, you're stuck.
But what
This
kind of
is a joke.
pieces?
They designed this part
kind
of
of
the
pieces
stage
is
to
it?
be a trap. The only way to get out of this is to stand here and let the falling spikes kill you. If it wasn't for them, you'd have to reset the game and lose all your data. The darkness is still a huge issue. Look, my lantern oil ran out, so I can't find my way back. So I'm really up shit creek without a paddle. And that means I'm paddling through the shit with my hands.
What a
Talking to people
diarrhea
is
piece
still a
of
strange
shit.
ordeal. Why do you have to shove a sword up their ass? Right up their ass.
Wow!
You also use the sword to buy stuff. If the shop owner gets in your way, you end up talking to him. Go away, I'm trying to buy bombs.
Lamp oil, rope.
And here, once again, I'm trying to fight, but I keep talking to this asshole. Go away.
Through the eye of Glutcoal.
The enemies, once again, are a pain in the ass. Half of them are impossible to hit. Look at this, I'm trying to go down, but the fucking warthogs are in my way.
What an ass.
This would be so simple if you could just jump down.
Oh my goodness, this is awful!
Another nuisance is that I can't hit the Dodongos because the bombs just fly over them.
The
If I could jump
Dodongos.
and throw the bomb, maybe I could hit them, but you can't do that because it activates the status screen. Yeah, you have to be standing to use your items. And I hate these damn snakes. Your timing has to be perfect.
Man, how do I do this now?
I hate these fucking bastards. But these gargoyle things are the worst. They take several hits to kill, and they never stop coming. If you stay there and try to fight them off, you'll be there
Coming.
forever. I'm not kidding. It makes the most sense to just try and outrun them. All right, Ganon, here I come.
And I will make your face the
What a
greatest in
diarrhea
Korodai,
piece
or
of
else you
shit.
will die.
All I need is just one shot with a book. Yeah, it's a book this time. Just one hit.
Will this work?
That doesn't count. I
What
still
a
get the dramatic death
diarrhea
scene,
piece
but I'm
of
back
shit.
outside the castle. Fuck. So I gotta go all the way through the castle again, and when I get there, thankfully Ganon's still dead. Then you gotta wake Zelda. Come on! I'm here to rescue your
What a
royal ass. Get the
diarrhea
hell up!
piece of shit.
Fuck up. Oh, I get it.
I just saved you from Ganon. I won.
Nothing short of poetry. Let's move on to the final piece of what's known as the Unholy Triforce.
The unholy piece of
Zelda's
shit.
Adventure was released the following year in 1994. Unlike the other two, this one doesn't have the cartoon cutscenes. Instead, it's digitized actors. Sometimes they don't even move, they just crossfade.
So I found this champion of strength and courage.
As the title would
Sounds
suggest,
cool.
it's the only other game where you play as Zelda, going to save Link's ass once again. You have to find dungeons
Such
where
an
each one you
assetry.
collect a piece of a stone. Much
Piece
like
of
pieces of the
shit.
Triforce in the original Zelda game. So this one follows the classic format a little more, not to mention it's an overhead view. That means you don't have to do stupid shit like push up to jump and crouch to bring up the inventory screen. You can also touch the rupees and hearts without having to attack them. Of course, you do have to wait for them to touch the ground, which is confusing since it's overhead. It's better than the other two CDI games, but not by a whole lot. The most constant annoying thing is waiting for the screen to load. Watch how long it takes.
Such a piece of shit.
And you're probably
fucking
thinking, oh,
ass
it can't
game.
do that every time. Oh yeah, it does. Imagine how long it takes you to get anywhere. Look at the original Zelda. Watch how quick it is. See? And that was on an old 8-bit console. Damn CD load time. Look at this.
16-bit.
That's when you grab your beer. The next thing that's
Such a
really
piece of
annoying is
shit.
that somebody keeps
Ass a
talking to
tree
you.
game.
Zelda, do not roam unprotected.
Shut the fuck
Look
up.
nearby for something to aid you.
What is Zelda hearing voices in her head? Crazy bitch. Unlike other Zelda games where the dialogue is all text, this one uses real bad voice acting.
Those who go deep into the earth learn to overcome.
Yeah, nigga. Oh,
Who goes
eu não
there?
disse nada.
Aren't you letting me and my boss look?
Even the sound effects aren't appropriate. Why do the Vyres have humanoid grunts? And what the hell is that thing?
What the heck?
What is that?
Moburns out there are so slow and stupid.
You don't get very much music either. Just immerse yourself in the good old outdoors.
What the heck, a piece
I
of
also find the
shit.
ground very strange looking, almost like a satellite view. These would be trees, so maybe Zelda's a giant. Oh look, we got a ladder. Remember that from
Vamos
the
falar de ti,
original
Zelda.
Remember how to use it? You just walk right across. Let's see how easy it is here. You come to a gap, you gotta go to your menu, select the ladder, and then use it. You always have to select shit. Take this for example. In any good Zelda game, how do you buy stuff? Like this. That's easy, right? Here, you gotta stop, bring up the menu, select the rupee, and there. What a bunch of fuck.
That was a wise purchase, young princess.
And I gotta say, the menu screen sucks. First of all, you can only hold one item. That includes the sword or wand, whatever. In the other games, you always have the sword and can select an additional item. Of course, the CDI doesn't utilize as many buttons, so whenever you need to use something, you bring up the menu screen. And the other thing that really pisses me off is that you have to scroll through the items, not by pressing left or right on the D-pad, no, by moving the cursor to the left or right arrow and painstakingly clicking until you see the item you want. That is bullshit. Why couldn't they fit them all on the screen like the other games? And how about the map screen? In any other Zelda game, you can bring up the map with the ease of a single button. That's simple, right? Well, here, the map screen is inside the item screen. Yeah, so whenever you want to see the map, you have to bring up the item screen, select the map, look at the map, go back to the item screen, and finally back to the game. How about getting treasure? You think you just open it and there'd be nothing more to it than that. But no, the fucking treasure chest starts talking to you.
Why, what a great event.
Then it spits out the treasure, and the first time I didn't even know what happened. Whatever happened to this? How about this shit? Somebody gives me an empty bottle and tells me to go fill it up at the source of the river. Why I can't just go to any riverbank, I don't know. But anyway, I go to the source, which is this fucking skull thing. I select the bottle, and then it doesn't just fill up. It mysteriously disappears from Zelda's hands and then reappears behind her to the left. What? You're never even sure what the items are gonna do. I got a flute, and I was told to use it against a snake. So I use the flute, and what happens? It kills the snake, but not before freezing me, making me momentarily helpless while the snake nearly kills me. Thanks. But one major problem I have is that the save function doesn't seem to work. If I turn off the game, it erases all the data. That sucks. The overall design is horrendous. You can never tell where to go. See that dark area right there? That's a cave. You're supposed to go in there. But with all the random rock patterns, you'd think it was just part of the wall. And when I got to this part, I thought it was a hole in the floor till I realized that it's just part of the ceiling. Rarely does that even happen, and it occurs right after the part where you need a ladder, so naturally, I thought it was a hole. Here, I'm just trying to go to the right, but something apparently is blocking my path. What the fuck's going on? Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Get over there. I'm stuck. Fuck! Even the dungeon maps aren't consistent. See the white square? That's where I am. But if I go up, it jumps me all the way up here. And it happens more than once. You just jump all over the map. In other Zelda games, there's secret passageways that transport you all around the dungeon. That makes sense. But here, when you're just walking to the next screen and suddenly appears someplace different on the map, it's like, what the hell happened to this game?
What the heck?
I don't believe this. Like, I seriously don't believe this. That's it. That's all I can take. How could they fuck up Zelda this bad? It's not a Zelda game. I wouldn't call it that. Oh, but it is. It has Zelda and it has Link. Yeah, you know what? That's a pointless argument right there. That's like if your dad says, I fucked your mom. It's like, I can't argue with that. You know, playing these games is as worthwhile as melting a dog turd on a frying pan. Yeah, put some buffalo puke and some cat piss all over it, and you have a shit sandwich that is Zelda CDI. This game fucking sucks! Fucking sucks! Fucking sucks! Oh yeah, and the Mario game, that one sucks too! Ugh, CDI sucks!
Yes.
He's playing some games, the worst he recalls. He's gonna find out which one sucked the most balls. The angry video game nerd is here.
Gosto desta música.
Oh, he's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna go home and eat chicken and rice. The angry video game nerd is here. He hates the games that stink. He knows which games to break. He just might even hate them all, 'cause he's mad for fucking sake. You better watch out, don't give these games a try. You better not play them, he's telling you why. The angry video game nerd is here.
Welcome to another sacrilegious Christmas fuckfest. Now, 2 years ago, I played a bunch of Bible games. Yeah, now would you believe there's actually more of them? Like, who makes video games based off the Bible? Why would you do that? These games suck ass. If I was God, I'd be pissed.
First, let's check out Exodus, Journey to the Promised Land. What the hell's this? To start the game, please wait up to 9 flashes on TV screen. Power on, please wait 7 seconds between power off and power on. Wow, quite a lot of instructions just to start the damn game. You play as Moses. I guess on his journey to the Promised Land, he had to go through labyrinths and shooting W's at everything and collect
Então,
sacks with the
conseguiste
letter M. I don't know about this one. It's just a puzzle game. It's playable. Basically, you have to collect a certain amount of items in order for an exit to appear. I'm not even sure exactly what the items are, but it pretty much means that you have to uncover every square. Oh, this is so redundant. It's really one of those games where you need a turbo controller. So the exit appears, you take it, and then you get a bunch of Bible questions, like the king of Egypt told the Hebrew midwives to kill male babies, kill all babies, kill all babies? I'm playing an NES game that says kill all babies?
No, that's
and
a
you know
good
what?
game.
That's the wrong answer. So that obviously means it's something they made up.
That's
Kill
a
all
good game.
babies. So for every question you answer correctly, you get what else? A Bible, and then you get a violent picture of somebody
Bible.
whipped, and then it's on to the next level. Oh, this is so monotonous. Obviously, I'm going all the way in the middle. Oh no, now I gotta go all the way back. Oh, fucking hell. This is ridiculous.
Looks like you a piece of shit.
So then I get back out, I finish up all the crap I gotta do. Oh, so I guess it's the question marks I gotta get. And then what? Where's the
Question
exit?
marks?
Oh, it's back over there? Oh my lord. I've had enough with this shit.
Alright, next up, let's try Noah's Ark. Haven't we played this already?
Remember in Bible Adventures, there were 3 games, one of which was Noah's Ark, that stupid shit where you're picking up stacks of animals. Then
What a
of
piece of
course there's the
shit.
infamous Super Noah's Ark 3D, the only unlicensed Super NES game, which happens to be a clone of Wolfenstein, where you're going around shooting goats. So now we have yet another game based off of Noah's Ark, but there's something very different about this one. What's that? It was actually
this one's a
licensed by
piece of shit.
Nintendo. Who made this?
LJN?
Okay, now I'm really curious.
What happens if I do this?
Okay, who would have thought this would actually be decent? Well, it was only released in Europe, which means it's in the PAL format, and it can't be played on any North
Oh,
American
it's a
NES, unless you have the
separator
top
of
loader.
whatever.
That plays anything. The game's not bad, but it's fucking weird. Why are there Native Americans in Noah's time? And why does he turn into a fish? If he and all the animals can turn into fish, they wouldn't even need the fucking ark. Also, it's generally a pain in the ass because enemies can drain half your life bar with one hit. Even the tiniest things such as bees, which take almost all your life.
Not the
And
bees.
There's lots of things you can't even touch at all, or you die instantly. This makes it almost pointless to even have a life bar. Also, there's hidden bonus stages, but if you find one of them, it doesn't bring you back. So rather than returning you to the game where you left off, it puts you back at the beginning of the stage, which is fucking bullshit. But overall, I would at least go as far to call it a game. Alright, what's next? Oh, Joshua. This one looks fun, right? Oh no. Doesn't this look familiar? It's the same thing as Exodus. Well, that scratches that off the list. What's the point of discussing the same game twice? The only difference is that you're Joshua, I assume, and that there's a voice. But what's even stranger, this game is a copy of a game, which is a copy of another game, Crystal Mines. Damn. Well, here's a little history lesson. Color Dreams was the company making all these unlicensed games for the NES, like Captain Comics, Secret Scout, and Raid 2020. Maybe I'll review that in the year 2020. Anyway, Color Dreams, for whatever reason, decided they wanted to start doing Bible games, now under the name Wisdom Tree. Essentially, they were recycling some of their old Color Dreams games and adding Christian themes. For example, here we have Menace Beach, which was turned into Sunday Fun Day.
For example.
Let's check it out.
Yes.
So this is Menace Beach. Basically, you're some kid on a skateboard trying to rescue some girl. It's plagued by god-awful control, a pathetic attack range, and the most annoying level design I've ever seen. But the most interesting thing about this game is that between each level, you see your girlfriend begging you to rescue her, and each time, her clothes gradually disappear.
Whoa.
The first time playing this, I didn't even realize what was happening. She says, "I've been here so long, my clothes are starting to rot." Seriously, that's the only explanation. I think she would die of starvation before her clothes would rot, but the funny thing is that it's a strangely effective way to get you to play the game because just for curiosity's sake, it makes you wonder how much of her clothes are going to come off. It's like, hey, we got this horrible, shitty game, but there's a girl taking her clothes off, so you gotta keep playing. How did this turn into a Bible game? Well, let's find out. Here comes Sunday Fun Day. It might interest you to know, this is actually the last game ever made for the NES, and it was as late as 1995. Oh, no, there's 3 games! Oh boy, well, let's try them all. Here's Fishfall. Okay, you're a hand trying to grab falling fish and throw them up into a floating basket. What does this have to do with the Bible? What does catching parachuting fish and throwing them up at an electric eel have to do with the Bible? Oh, okay, it's got some Bible verses thrown in. Now it makes perfect sense. Okay, let's try For Him. What? It's karaoke? Oh, please. Now that I've wasted my time with all that, let's play
I don't
Sunday
have any
Fun Day.
concrete.
Well, it's identical to Menace Beach. Just look at the title screens. It's the same exact game. Now, there are a few minor differences, but we'll get to them as we go. Instead of trying to rescue your girl, you're not even going to believe this when I tell you. You're trying to get to Sunday school. Yeah. Now, as much as that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard for a game, what I don't understand is why that's so difficult. Who are these raging atheists that don't want you to go to church?
Who are these people?
It's bad enough that the entire town's trying to stop you, but what's with the flying clowns, the old ladies coming out of boxes, and animals coming out of sewer holes? What's this guy's problem? Like, why does everyone want him dead? I'd say he's having quite a day. And the funny thing is, he probably gets to church and doesn't even mention it. Like, oh, what'd you do on this Sunday morning before church? Oh, well, I flew on a balloon that I got from some clown, and then I went through the sewers and beat up a bunch of plumbers. I hopped on some frog and bounced around on a bunch of springs and shit. Then I threw a bomb and blew some guy's fucking face off. Yeah, look at the face.
Off.
Ooh, God, that's so violent. Now, instead of the stripping chick, you get this annoying bitch who does nothing but nag you. Get your ass to Sunday school. The only other thing I've noticed that's been changed are some of the enemies. Ninjas are now kids, and these Elvis-looking guys are now plumbers. Maybe ninjas were too violent, and Elvis's devilish rock and roll was too much for a religious game. But everything else fits perfectly fine. Why does a bird come out every time you kill someone? And why do they turn from white to black? Kind of like a reverse Michael Jackson. Your attack is so pathetic. It seems you have to keep skating past people while tapping the button, and I never figured out the right timing. It's just luck whether you hit them or not. What are you supposed to be doing anyway? Just spinning around? Look at this. I'm still trying to hit this guy. Finally.
What an asshole.
Fuck. Another real piss off is that it keeps going dark. Seems like I'm running into that problem a lot with games lately. It's so annoying. You have to keep hitting the switches to keep the room bright. Oh, come on, get the damn switch. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, man. I really hate those springs.
Why do I need
All
two?
I'm trying to do is go down and to the right, but I can't make it. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, God. When you don't want the springs to bounce you around, they do. And when you want them to, they don't. What the fuck? Why didn't it bounce me?
Oh, that's ass.
There's also these squares that make you fall through the pipes. I don't know what that's about. Some enemies you can only kill with bombs, and trying to get them to stand near a bomb is ridiculously hard. Come on. Of course he's not going to come near it. Okay,
It's not an
there,
ass.
perfect. He's laughing. He's got 2 bombs ready to blow, and he walks away. Okay, there's another one. Of course, he goes right past it. Oh, there he goes. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, look at this.
What's happening?
This is nice. I'm stuck. I need a balloon to fly over the hole, but I need to go back to get the balloon. Too bad I can't jump high enough, so it's time to commit suicide. Here's the problem.
Wait, don't-
This little
come on.
ledge shouldn't be here. It's pointless because once you're there, you're stuck. Oh, fuck. Get me away from the bombs. I hate those fucking springs. Gah! Oh, got lucky there. I hate those fucking things. They're the worst.
Me too.
Damn! Oh, this game is so annoying. Look at this. I got trapped in some sort of pipe. There's no way down. What I'm trying to do is get on the floor and go under it. But there's a fucking spring that comes up. Then there's that damn switch making it go dark. I get bounced all over the place. Man, just get down there.
Kiko Kairo.
Oh, 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 fuck. I'm surprised. This game is actually really hard. It's one of the
actually
hardest I've ever
ass.
played. Mostly because of this shit right here.
I'm surprised.
You have to bounce on a bunch of springs. Some bounce you up and some bounce you down. The idea is not to touch the ones that bounce you down or else you die.
I didn't think it
but
was
there's no
ass.
clear distinction. They all look the same. At first, there's a pattern. Up, down, down. That's real nice. So it fucking fools you into thinking that there's a pattern, and then it just throws you off. But trying to avoid those down springs is almost impossible.
Buda buda bing bing bong.
Oh my fuck. Fuck this game. Fuck this fucking piece of shit. Oh man,
shit,
I'm doing
piece
good.
of shit.
Holy shit, I might actually make it.
Piece of shit.
Fuck!
Piece of shit. Piece of shit. Piece of shit.
Oh boy.
Alright, well, that's enough with that one. It's time to wrap things up. I got something to blow the lid off the crap barrel. Time to flick the shit switch, turn up the diarrhea dial. It's Bible games on CDI. Yeah, we're living on the edge. We're like living on a prayer.
First, we have Moses, the Exodus. Honestly, there's not much
Diarrhea
to say.
piece of
It's
shit.
basically an
Piece
educational
of
tool
shit.
with some games thrown
Diarrhea
in.
piece of shit.
First, there's Pyramid Pursuit. This is the main game. Basically, you're exploring a pyramid. It's a point-and-click game, but not a good one that actually makes you think. This one is a no-brainer.
Diarrhea
It flat
piece
out
of shit.
explains
Piece
what you're
of
supposed to do.
shit.
Go this
Diarrhea
way,
piece
go
of
that way. The voices are the fuckest baloney shit you'll ever hear.
I'm an idol worshipped by many. There's someone downstairs who worships me.
What is it, a robot? But let me give you a quick tour of the other stuff. First, we have this
must have got League of
story
Legends
about
about.
Moses.
Moses trusted God. He knew that no matter what, God would take care of him.
Then you
Oh.
have Tell Me More, which is basically just more history lessons about the Bible.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad God will take care of me.
Animal like an ox.
Then you have the Bible,
Diarrhea
which
piece
is
of
just
shit.
scripture from the
Piece
Bible.
of shit.
Then you have the
Diarrhea
Playroom.
piece
The
of
first
shit.
thing you'll notice is the sing-along. It's
Santa
just a bunch of
Casa Villa.
karaoke
Hey.
songs.
We've got a choice to make. Leading the way.
Há de ter sido os.
But tell me,
Os
why
húngaros.
is Moses and me graffitied on a wall? Then there's a
Moses
slider
and me.
puzzle. Nothing to say about that.
Diarrhea piece of
Then
shit.
there's the
Piece-
coloring
piece
book,
of-
and this
piece
is where
of
things
diarrhea
become
piece
really
of-
ass. It's kind of like Mario Paint, but really hard to control. Seriously, your pointer just jumps all over the place. And what the hell's going on here? Leprosy? That's nice. Then there's this connect the dots bullshit. If you miss the dot, you get this irritating voice.
Whoops.
If you get the dot, you get the irritating voice.
Yippee!
And it never fucking stops.
Yippee! Yippee! Whoops! Yippee! Yippee! Yippee!
I wish I was the one developing this.
Is that really necessary? Like, what are they, fucking crazy? Well, anyway, that's about all there is to say about that. The other two games are the same deal.
They all have the same puzzle games, sing-along, and all that. The only real difference is the main games. David and Goliath has this board game.
I am Goliath.
You've landed on Goliath Square. That'll send him back.
It doesn't make much sense because you never see the entire board, so you don't know where Goliath is. That's like if you were playing Monopoly and you put your face up to the game. You never know what's going on. The last game, Story of Sansom, has a game called Riddler's Race. So was the Riddler in the Bible? I didn't
hope
know
so.
that. So basically, you're a harpist on your way to play the harp at Sansom's wedding. But there's a bunch of people after you, and if they catch you, you have to answer a Bible riddle. Yep, that's it.
Alright, well, I think I'm done. There's
Based.
not really any more Bible games, or at least ones that actually qualify as games. There's one on Game Boy called the King James Bible. It's extremely rare, but all it is literally the whole Bible on a Game Boy cartridge. So I'm going to draw the line right there. So have a happy holidays and all that good shit. Merry Christmas to all, and all good fucking night.
He's playing some games, the worst he recalls. He's gonna find out which one sucked the most balls. The angry video game nerd is here.
He's here, man.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Right off the bat, you want to laugh. I know you do. But think back to the 80s when everybody was into Michael Jackson. Sure, now he's a subject of joke and ridicule, but you gotta remember, I think Dave Chappelle said it best. He made Thriller. Thriller.
Back then, there weren't too many video games where you can play as a celebrity, so that's why it was a big deal. It was based off the arcade game of the same name, which was based off the movie of the same name. It was one of the first games that attracted us to the new Sega
train
Mega Drive,
unloads.
known as the Genesis in North America. NES players like myself looked on with envy when this sexy beast hit the scene. It was black, it was round, and it said 16-bit right on the front, like in your face,
16-bit.
bitch! Moonwalker was one of the first Genesis games I ever played. At the time, I thought it was awesome. but other than the novelty of it being Michael Jackson, there wasn't really anything too special about it.
The only question is, are you bad? Are you bad? Let's find out.
I'm bad.
As it begins, Michael flips a coin in the jukebox and Smooth Criminal starts up. So all you do is go around, kick fairy dust at people, and rescue kids. Yeah, you can't advance to the next level until you get all the kids.
Michael!
Now, I know what we're all thinking here, but really, that's all it is. You're just rescuing the kids.
Michael!
Michael!
Michael! Michael! Michael!
But who are these kidnappers, and why are there so many kids? Why do they all look
So
the
many
same?
Michaels.
Why do you have to open doors, look in windows, and spin bushes open to find them? Couldn't there be a better way? That's the main problem I have with this game, is how redundant it is. You can't skip any doors, because if you go through the whole stage and miss just one kid,
So many
you have
Michaels.
to go back. And of course, you're not going to remember which door you didn't open, so you got to open them all again. You have no choice but to stop and check every single door, every single window, and leave no stone unturned. Quite
No
literally.
stone!
Most of the later stages don't even follow a linear pattern.
No
They don't go from
stone!
left to right or top to bottom. They're all over the place. So you're always going to be confused which spots you already checked. There's one stage where you're checking cars, but often there's a
But
bomb in
Dan,
the car
it's
that you
yes.
can't avoid. You don't even need to get hit by the explosion. The bomb itself hurts you. Even if you check the same car twice, there's another bomb. You have no choice but to check every car. So the only way to avoid the bombs is if you played the game so many times that you can actually remember which cars have kids and which ones have bombs. I'm also not very fond of the kick, because if your enemies are shorter than you, it doesn't help. Like these spiders, or even these dogs. They're such a bitch. Literally. A lot of animal abuse in these games. There's a variety of special moves which are kind of cool. Michael can spin, throw his hat, grab
Michael.
his crotch.
Michael!
Why? Why would they put that in a game?
What were they
How
thinking?
Could they put that in a game? It just seems by tapping buttons, you figure out all kinds of different moves that don't have any purpose. Like if you push up, what does that do? And if you hold the attack button and D-pad in the correct way, then you can actually moonwalk. But again, it has no purpose, and it usually results in taking a hit. The special moves drain your energy, and I mean a lot of it. You can make everybody dance, which takes out everyone on the screen, but what's the point of doing that if it drains half your energy? Still, it's worth it just for the amusement factor, and even the dogs dance. There's also an invincibility move, but let me tell you how this works. Every once in a while, a shooting star comes by. It's rare, but if you manage to act fast enough to touch it, this happens. Oh man, he just changed from Michael Jackson to Mecha Jackson, the king of Robopop. It's enough that you're invincible for a brief moment, but you can fly, you can shoot lasers, and you can scatter bombs all over. This is one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. Only problem, you can't rescue kids. I guess they don't respond too well to giant laser shooting robots.
I don't get it.
The
Why?
navigation is a pain in the ass.
The
In
problem.
the cavern, you have to figure out that you can break the walls. If you didn't know that, you're kind of screwed. Every stage seems to have its own rules, but it's never self-explanatory. It took me a while to figure out that I needed to go down these
You can
sewers.
duck
At
mid-air?
first, I thought they were just part of the scenery, because when you push down, nothing happens. You have to know to do the spin. Each stage, after you find all the kids, you have to fight a boss. But rather than the
Michael.
boss just simply appearing, Bubbles comes in and tells you where to go. So naturally, you just follow where he's pointing. But sometimes he points
Stupid
straight
Bubbles.
up or straight down. and you can't go that way. So
espaço?
you're
Hoje é
never
feriado
sure
nacional,
exactly
caralho.
where you're supposed to go. Finally, when you get to the spot, the boss appears, runs away, and then a bunch of bad guys come out you gotta fight. It's just like a little endurance round. But why can't this happen right after you find the last kid? Why does Bubbles have to lead you around? While this is happening, there's no enemies to fight. There's nothing. You're just walking to the boss. There's no purpose at all. It's like in Simon's Quest when you're walking through Dracula's castle and there's no enemies or obstacles. You just walk down steps and keep on going till you get there. It's a waste of gameplay. What's the point? Also, it's very specific where you have to stand. Like here, the boss didn't come out just because I was on this platform. I have to be on the ground. Also, this boss guy that keeps running away, even though you don't fight him, you can still take damage if you touch him. Here, I'm just walking around, looking for the boss, looking for the boss. Oh, here he is. I didn't expect that. Hey, I can't jump over him. What, I'm stuck? What is this shit? This is bullshit. God, jeez! And when you die during the boss part, you don't start right where you left off. You have to start with Bubbles again. What's the point of having to walk all the way to the boss again? Where's the thriller music? Instead, it's another part of me from the Bad album. Why would they go through the trouble of including a graveyard scene in a Michael Jackson game and not use Thriller? I guess if you do the dance move, you'll hear it. No? That's the Thriller dance, but where's the music?
God damn it.
Only if I do the dance in stage 3-3, I get a different song, Billie Jean.
Billie
Apparently,
Jean.
some copies of the game have Thriller and others don't. That makes no sense. At this point is where the game starts to get really hard. Look at all these zombies. You think there's enough? And that's really fair considering I can only attack one side at a time. The dance doesn't help because even if you wipe out every zombie on the screen, there's still like 10 times more on the way. So draining half your energy isn't worth it. Holy shit, there's so many zombies. So many zombies. Oh my god, there's like, stop. Oh, holy god, there's so many. Oh my god.
What the fuck is happening? How the fuck do I not have the concrete?
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a
Buffalo.
take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. The angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Esqueci-me.
I fucking hate this game. And to begin with, I didn't really expect much. Milon's Secret Castle. If you don't know who Milon is, well, he's the guy from Milon's Secret Castle. It's a humble game. It's not Mario or Mega Man or Michael Jackson. It's just Milon or Milan or Milan, whatever. Who cares?
Elon Musk.
So it may not be one of the most famous NES titles that everybody owned in their collection. No, this was the kind of game you rent from the video store one weekend. You play it for about 5 minutes, you get stuck, and then your whole weekend is wasted.
It's disappointing because this looks like an okay game. It's just a side-scroller where you're trying to rescue a princess. Basic stuff. The first thing that bugs me is the weapon. Why Bubbles? Why not a sword or magic lightning bolts or fireballs or a gun or undefined pixelized pieces of shit? Fucking anything but Bubbles. What is this game for little girls? Besides, they suck. They have a short range, and they always point up at an angle, making it hard to hit their mark, unless you hold the D-pad in a weird way. It's hard to explain. The control isn't the worst I've experienced, but it feels stiff. As soon as you release the D-pad, Milon stops dead in his tracks. He doesn't gain momentum the way Mario does, for example. So, less than 30 seconds into the game, you come to a point where you can't go any further. You can jump, jump, jump till the cows come home. You will not get up there. That's when you either shut the game off or discover that you can use bubbles to break open stones. There you go. You also have to break stones to find money, keys, doors, everything. Literally, nothing is in plain sight. But the real annoying part, you can't tell which stones can be broken and which ones can't. In a good game like Zelda, there's always a crack in the wall, giving you indication that there's something there. But in a bad game like this, you have no choice but to just blindly shoot bubbles at everything you see. And you know what that's like? Yeah, you do. That's like in Simon's Quest, where you have to throw holy water at everything. What's the point? There's no thought process. You're just blasting away blocks. The same way the game's blasting away all your fucking brain cells. But even then, it doesn't take much longer to find out that you're stuck. I'm gonna give you a little tour. Here's the first part of the game. You can explore the whole outside of the castle, but you can't go up to the second level yet. For now, all you have is 3 doors and a window. The first door leads to a room that has nothing interesting. The only thing interesting here is an area with a bunch of money. But how the hell do you get over there? It's like the game is deliberately taunting you. Hey, you want that money, don't you? You want that money. Yeah, you want that money. You want that money? Yeah, well, fuck you. You can't have it. So you blast a bunch of blocks, find a key, and then make a door appear by shooting in the thin air. So you use the key to go in the door, and after all that trouble, where does it lead you? Back out the same door you came in. So the whole point of that first door
I got no concrete.
Is a complete waste of fucking time. The second door is a shop. There's only one item for sale, Shrink Potion. Shrink when you touch the glove. What glove? Oh, this glove? A fucking boxing glove that makes you shrink? Sure, whatever. Then he also gives you hints, like a crystal has mysterious powers. And find a saw. Okay, so how does that help me? Now I know I'm looking for a saw. Obviously, if I find something that resembles a saw, I'm gonna get it anyway. Then we go in the window. Here, there's just an empty room. There's nothing except for a door. And you can't go in the door. Of course. Is it locked? Do I need a key? The game doesn't even have the courtesy to let you know. A little message would be nice. The third and final door leads to another room. I'd like to point out here that once you enter a room, you can't go back out. So basically, you're trapped and have no choice but to persevere. You gotta find the door. It's mindless enough that you have to shoot bubbles in the thin air for the door to appear, but look how specific
Fucking
it has
bubbles?
to be. I shoot the bubble right where the door is. Nothing happens. I gotta shoot just one space above it. As long as the bubble goes where the door is, why does it matter? But even then, the door's locked, so you gotta find the key. Even if you know where the key is, making it appear is another story. I know it's there, why doesn't it show itself? If I wander away and goof around a little more, I'll come back and there it is. I still don't understand how to make the key appear. Basically, what the game is telling me, in order to get the door and key, you just gotta waste enough time. Then where's the door lead? Right back out the same fucking door I came in. Well, if the whole objective of that room is just finding your way back out, why couldn't the exit just be where I started to save all the trouble? Everything is a dead end. How did they design a game where all you have are 2 doors that lead to rooms that lead back to the same doors? It's a maze that has no end. So that's when you need the power. Nintendo power. It's like you want to know how to beat the game? Well, you gotta buy our magazine, you dumb little shits. This is the classified information section. Usually this is all about cheats. Golgo 13, stage select, spy hunter, start with all weapons, Wizards and Warriors, bypass the wizard, Mario 2, shortcuts to Birdo, Milon's secret castle, getting started. That's not a cheat. That's just how to play the fucking game.
The basic rules of the game needed Nintendo power. That is some fuck.
So here's the deal. That empty room, you gotta fight a demon. The demon doesn't appear until you get the spring shoes, which will also help with those hard to reach places. But where do you get the spring shoes? First, you shoot out these blocks. Then you push the one block that doesn't break. That alone is almost impossible to find out. At first, you don't realize that you're able to push the block because it takes like 3 seconds to happen. And it doesn't look like Milon's pushing, he's just running against it. But that's not all. Then you have to shoot the empty space where the block used to be. A secret door appears, and in there you can buy the spring shoes. How can it be a secret if it's something you absolutely need to do in order to advance with the game? You gotta explore every last inch of the whole castle. If you break it down to every space that could possibly be a hidden door, that's about 240 spaces per screen. And if you count all the blocks that could be in need of moving, let's say 120. And it's roughly 4 screens per room. That's a total of 2,880 bubbles you gotta throw just to get through the first level of the castle. Wow. So once you have all the items you need, you go back to that empty room, and now there's the first boss. This is when you start to realize how fast your energy can be drained. In most games, when you get hit, you blink, becoming immune to damage for a brief time.
Yeah, it's the blinkage.
But in this game, you can be killed almost instantly. When you beat the boss, an orb comes down. What is this, Castlevania? Do I gotta throw an oak stake at it? So then you advance to the second level of the castle. Here, the mystery and confusion only accelerates. There's a well that's totally dark and a room that's full of deadly fire. You never know where you're supposed to go first. So what do? Get the power. In this issue, there's a section in Counselor's Corner where gamers' questions are answered. Why Counselor's Corner? Because you're gonna need counseling after you're done with this shit.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see what it has to say. What the hell?
I was just standing outside the castle minding my own business when lightning bolts started coming down. Isn't this supposed to be the safe spot? Imagine if any other game had that. If you're like on the overworld or map screen, and then all of a sudden shit starts attacking. At least it has a pause feature. So you need a lantern to go through the dark room. You need a fireproof vest to get through the fire room. You gotta go through secret walls, some of which require shrinking in size. Now I'm really losing my patience. This princess can go fuck herself. So here's the second boss. Looks like a giant turd that's been run over by a steamroller. Alright, come on, you piece of shit. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
I'm dead. What? The title screen? Oh, come on, you gotta be able to continue. What?
Oop, oop.
You go back to the beginning?
Of course.
No continues?
No, guys.
No extra lives? What is this? You die one time, you go back to the beginning of the game? That is the greatest offense to the world of gaming. And you don't even start with full energy. Like, at least have one or the other. There's gotta be a code. Let's check this out. So, there is a continue code. Hold left and push start. Well, that's really simple, but if you didn't know that, you'd be screwed. Milon's Secret Castle. More like Milon's shitty asshole!
Yeah.
Looks like it could have been a good game, but instead, they were just fucking jerking off. I can't believe Hudson put their brand name all over this. You can find the Hudson B, and there's letters that spell Hudson.
Come on, Hudson
so
developers.
I guess by sneaking their name in here so much, they must have been really proud of this game. And so am I, because it killed more brain cells than I could possibly imagine. The whole game is